As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
There are a million reasons to smile, a million reasons to laugh. And now the Arizona Lottery is giving you a million reasons to play. Because when you play Strike It Rich, all cash or any scratchers worth $10 or more, you can enter the $1 million Mega Market giveaway for a chance to win an all-expense paid Las Vegas vacation and up to $1 million. Learn more at ArizonaLottery.com. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Even not recommended for children under 13.
Every day begins with the promise of something new. A new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
Right now at Scottsdale Mitsubishi, you can buy a brand new Mitsubishi Mirage for $16,000. A brand new car with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty for $16,000 while supplies last. Available now at Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K to 12 at chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A comeback that ended in disappointment. Rosters set in the NFL. And would you look at that? There's some Suns topics on my rundown here today. Welcome in to the Wednesday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours on the show. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. He is ready to take all of your phone calls today. 480-864-1060 is the phone number, or you can join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream and chat away with us over there as well. It feels a little bit like Groundhog's Day today on the show because I'm going to press the button. We're going to do the daily special, and it's going to be about a Diamondback starter that couldn't finish 3 innings.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the daily special.
The Diamondbacks rallied for 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th to tie things up at 8 in Milwaukee. But the Brewers walked it off. Isaac Collins with the sacrifice fly. Brewers blew a 6-run lead. Didn't matter. They found a way to win. The Diamondbacks show the fight. They show that answer back mentality. I'll tell you what, Producer Evan, if we wanted to be more optimistic maybe to start the show today, there's probably some room to have a conversation that when I look here in the box score and I look at all the players that had key hits for the Diamondbacks in that comeback, it's Moreno, it's Perdomo, it's Marte, it's Carroll, it's Perdomo again. It's those same 4 guys that we keep talking about when looking ahead towards 2026 and beyond. But you got to start with the guy that dug this team the hole. The guy who went 2 2/3, allowed 6 earned runs, 8 hits, the 1 walk, and the 4 strikeouts. We've got to start today's show discussing the performance from Brandon Pfaadt. Because it was just yesterday here on these airwaves in front of this microphone that we talked about another starter for the Arizona Diamondbacks that did not give them length, that could not get through 3 innings. And what did we say about that starter? Look, you're stuck with Eduardo Rodriguez for the next 2 years. You've got half of that deal still left. You're going to have to figure out a way to make him a useful pitcher for you in some capacity. Find a way for him to create some level of value for you. Well, today, it's a similar conversation, but I think it could be a little more frustrating because this is a guy that the Diamondbacks extended, gave a long-term contract to. This is a guy that the Diamondbacks, in many ways, counting on, alongside Ryan Nelson, to chart the course forward. Merrill Kelly, gone, traded, free agent at the end of the year in Texas. Don't know if a reunion is going to happen. Zach Allen, free agent at the end of the year, probably will slap the qualifying offer on him. Who knows what his future in this town looks like. We do know Ryan Nelson's going to be here next year. We do know Brandon Pfaadt is going to be here next year. Those are the 2 guys that you are looking at right now. You've got some young pitchers that could potentially join them and help as early as next season. But those are the 2 guys that have pitched at the big league level and have at times shown you what you need to see to think those guys could lead a rotation or at least be at the front part of a rotation, the 1, 2, or 3 spots. Brandon Pfaadt showed you that he could be that type of pitcher earlier this year. Because let's jump back in the time machine and let's go to April, because I can remember the conversations we were having about Brandon Pfaadt and his start to the year, end of April into May. He had a 2.43 ERA in the month of April. Out of his first 6 starts, 5 of those 6, he gave the Diamondbacks at least 6 innings. And in the 1 start he didn't, he went 5 2/3. He was a model of consistency. 6 innings, 3 runs, quality start against Chicago to start the year. 6 innings, 4 earned runs against Washington. 6 scoreless against Baltimore early in the year. 5 2/3, 1 run allowed against Miami. Against Tampa, 6 innings, 1 earned run. Against the Braves, 6 innings, 2 earned runs allowed. He was just great. He was what you need Brandon Pfaadt to be. Guy that's going to go out there, take the ball, give you 6 strong. And oh, by the way, the Diamondbacks 5-1 in his first 6 starts of the season. And something changed. Because he had an 8.1 ERA in May. He had a 6.26 ERA in June. He was a little better in July, a 4.35 ERA in July. A 5.81 ERA so far in the month of August. And he had kind of found some stability before the blow-up last night against Milwaukee. So what's going wrong? What happened to the guy that we were all watching through his first 6 starts of the year? What happened to that pitcher? What has led to a guy who overall has got a 5.24 ERA? Has not been very good as of late. An ERA near 6 in the month of August. What happened? What went wrong? Well, I did the thing this morning.
I'm a huge nerd.
I went into the weeds, and I looked at every single pitch that Brandon Pfaadt has thrown this season. I looked at his 4-seam fastballs. I looked at his sinker. I looked at his entire arsenal. And I looked at what teams were hitting against all of those pitches. And then I got a little more nerdy.
I'm a huge nerd.
I looked at the pitching run value for every single one of his pitches. So all of his 4-seamers, that's the pitch he's thrown the most this year, 26% of the time. That pitch has a run value. Positive number means it's a good pitch. That means it is generating value for your team. If it's a negative, you're generating value for the other team. So I did the math. So we'll start with the numbers that you're more used to, the average. What teams are hitting against these pitches? Against his 4-seamer this year, the pitch he throws the most, 26% of the time, they're hitting .279 against that pitch. How about his sinker? The pitch he throws second most, 23% of the time. A .290 average against that sinker. A sweeper, That's the third pitch that he offers and throws nearly 20% of the time. Teams are hitting 281 against that pitch. His next three pitches, his change, his curve, and his cutter, he doesn't utilize them as much, but they do have a value. His changeup, they're hitting 276 against his changeup this year. They're hitting 375 against his curveball. And his cutter, which he only throws 7% of the time, teams are hitting 226 against that pitch. Now, I'll get a little nerdy on you. I'll give you the pitching run value. Remember, negative bad, positive good. His four-seamer, the pitch he throws the most, -4 run value. His sinker, second most utilized pitch, a run value of 3. In fact, that's his second best pitch in his arsenal. His sweeper, a -7 run value this season. Don't worry, it somehow gets worse. The change, a -2. The curve, which he throws 9% of the time, a -10 this year in run value. Pairs up very nicely with the 375 average that teams are hitting against that pitch. And his cutter, it's his best pitch, a pitching run value of 4 this season with, again, the best average against 226. So his pitch he throws the most is four-seam. They're hitting to a near 280 batting average, and it is his third worst pitch. He still has elite command, has an elite walk rate, 93rd percentile walk rate. He's getting hit harder this year. The hard hit rate, the barrel rate, all up from where they were a year ago. He's not getting guys to chase as much as he was last year. Those are the things that stick out to me when you look under the hood and you look at some of the advanced numbers to try to figure out what's going on here. Maybe don't throw your curve 9% of the time when it's getting hit to the tune of a 375 batting average. When players hit the curve, they're prime Aaron Judge, they're prime Barry Bonds, they're prime Ted Williams. Perhaps we throw that instead of 9%, maybe 0% should be the right answer here, but maybe we throw out 1 or 2% as just a different offering that we mix in. And how about that cutter? That's our best pitch by every metric, the batting average against, the pitching run value. Why don't we use that more? Especially against left-handed batters. Let's jam that cutter inside. I'm trying to piece together what could be changed here in the offseason to get Brandon Pfaadt back on track because you paid him. You gave him a contract extension. You believe that he can be a part of your next rotation that is pitching in the postseason. Not this version. Not the version that we've seen this year. Not the guy that pitched last night. And Brandon Pfaadt is still a young starter where I believe that you can make more tweaks to his arsenal. You can mess with the dials a little bit. You can say, hey, we're going to throw the four-seam less. We're going to throw the sinker more. We're going to take the curve completely out. We're going to throw in more of the cutter. And you can change the percentages of when you're using these pitches, and perhaps it can lead to better results. Because if you just look at this, you would say, hey, throw your sinker and your cutter more. Those are your two best pitches. Well, if those are the only two pitches that you're throwing, teams are going to make an adjustment to that. You still need to have an arsenal. And I still think his change can work. I would get rid of the curveball. That pitch does not seem to have any sort of feel to it at all right now. But if you want to still throw the sinker and the four-seam, but have the sinker be your primary fastball offering and the four-seam is just a different shape off of that as a secondary, I would advocate for that. But these numbers are telling you, they're telling you a very interesting picture. They're telling you that 2 of the 3 pitches that Brandon Pfaadt throws the most are providing immense value to the other team. In fact, all 3 of those pitches, the worst average against the 3 pitches he throws the most is the 279 average for his four-seam. That's the pitch he throws the most. So he's not walking guys. He's filling up the strike zone. But guess what? Guys know what's coming. They're okay with what's coming, and they're crushing what's coming. Four-seam, sinker, sweeper. If you leave that sweeper in the zone, it's going to get crushed. If you miss with your four-seam and your sinker, or it's just flat and you leave it middle, big league hitters are going to catch up to that stuff.
There's 2 things that are just glaring. One, he just never feels like he has a hitter off balance and hasn't in months. Not since April. Are you like, wow, I feel like he has at least one hitter in the lineup off balance?
Well,
you watched last night. It was nobody. Nobody got buckled even for a single pitch.
Let's pull on that thread. What creates that environment for a hitter? You don't know what's coming. or you're guessing up there, right? You have to respect a certain off-speed offering. You have to respect that lights out breaking ball, that thing that's going to spin, or I've got to spit on this pitch so that he throws the sinker inside. You've got to have that secondary offering that makes these hitters think twice in that box. He doesn't have that. What pitch that I mentioned in his arsenal that he's thrown this year is that secondary offering that's forcing these hitters to respect it to where maybe, because if you throw a really great sweeper or slider or a curveball and the hitters know that it's coming, they have to respect your fastball a little more. They have to respect your sinker a little more because they have to respect those pitches. They have to respect your primaries. And so what happens is sometimes you can catch them napping and you can sneak a fastball by them because depending on the count, they're expecting you to throw a curve. They're expecting you to throw that sweeper, and they've got to be ready for it because it's a good pitch. Boom, you can sneak one at 94 inside on them and catch them napping. But you can only do that if there's that respect level. If batters have to make the adjustment to a sweeper or a curveball or a changeup. Those are 3 of his worst pitches this season. Of his 6-pitch arsenal, those 3, the curve, they're hitting 375 against. The sweeper, they're hitting 281 against. The changeup, they're hitting 276 against.
There's not a bad average in there.
No, the best average he's got against is the 226 average on his cutter, and that's the pitch he throws the least. So there's kind of a chicken and the egg thing that you can talk about there. Is that average because they're just not seeing it enough? And if he threw it more, they may be able to hit it better. I don't know.
Given how the other numbers line up, you would have to assume that's what it is.
You would be worried a little bit about if he tried to throw that cutter a little bit more that perhaps they would just see it better. But I see that stick out to me that it's his best pitch from a run value perspective. They're hitting the worst against it. And I would say, hey, maybe instead of 7%, can we throw that 10%? Can we just mix that in a little bit more to see what it does? To see if that changes.
Worth a chance, right?
How they respect the sinker. Because now, if he throws that cutter a little bit more, I've got to respect a four-seamer that's flat. And I mean that not in a bad way, just one that doesn't move. A sinker that's going to move into a righty away from a lefty. And then I got a cutter that's going to move into the lefty away from the righty. So if I'm in that box, there are 3 different fastballs that can go 3 different directions. And not to get super nerdy on everybody, but if you're tunneling on all 3 of those pitches, the way you're throwing them is the same arm slot, the same release point every time, it's going to be impossible for a hitter to pick up on that. It just doesn't feel like he has any of those things working for him right now. Hence, 2 2/3 last night, 6 runs allowed, the home run, and a guy who, after having a fantastic start to the year over his first 6 starts, has been anything but since. Those first 6 starts, better than Zach Allen, better than Corbin Burns when he was off to his slow start.
There was a buy or sell that I threw out there that was I would rather have Brandon Pfaadt right now on the mound than anybody else at the beginning of the season.
And that was when he was in that middle of that run where it was just rinse, repeat. Brandon Pfaadt, 6 innings. Next start, Brandon Pfaadt, 6 innings. Not just 6 innings, but 6 innings, chance to win the baseball game. Just every single time out.
It felt like a consistent hand that would take the mound every 5th day. You have completely lost that. They don't have a single person in the rotation that I think every night in gives them a chance to win.
This sport is built on pitching. You can have the best offense in the world, and we think this offense is pretty good. You saw it again from them last night in their ability to come back. You got to have the pitching up front. You have to have starters that give you a chance. And for 2 straight days, this rotation hasn't given them a chance. And I don't want to overreact to a game in August when the season is what it is and the season is over. But the guys that started the last 2 days are, when we did the exercise yesterday, 2 of the 3 starters that we said are guaranteed to be in this rotation next year. You need better from those guys because we know you have 2 holes that you're going to need to fill in that rotation before we even throw a pitch in spring training. You've got work to do, either free agency or a young arm in the organization down in the minors that's going to get called up. You've got 2 holes already. Don't add to that problem with 2 guys who don't give you a chance to win. By the way, in doing this research, do you know the best pitch in the big league roster? Ryan Nelson's fastball. The best overall single individual pitch from a pitching run value perspective. 16.
Wow.
So Ryan,
who would have guessed that at the beginning of the year, right?
Ryan Nelson, throw your fastball.
Who would have guessed out of all the pitchers on this team, who would have guessed that Ryan Nelson's fastball would have metrically been the best pitch in the organization?
Yeah, I mean, assuming that Corbin Burns would have made 30-plus starts this year or would have been here the entire season, you would have guessed that it would have been something of his arsenal. But yeah, Ryan Nelson, that fastball has been very, very good this year. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, rosters are set. What excites us? What worries us about the Cardinals' current 53? That's next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Close out summer with a Saturday night showdown. Phoenix Rising hosts El Paso Locomotive on Friday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. with great soccer and even better value. Score big with the $4 3-for-3 menu featuring a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials during the match. Tickets start at just $15. Log yours in now at phxrisingfc.com. Hot dogs, cold drinks, one fiery rivalry. Don't miss it.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one. We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Is it too soon to rip back that American League MVP award that we gave to Aaron Judge like 2 months ago? I'm not saying that it won't be his by season's end. I'm saying that this race has not yet actually been run. Instead, what we have now is an actual match race. Well, he doesn't sound fast. The big dumper is closing like a freight train. Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh is doing things that have never been done before and keeping the sad sack M's in the hunt in the process. He's the first catcher to hit 50 bombs in a season. He's the only other switch hitter besides Mickey Mantle to do it. Is that any good? And he's the first to hit 20 or more bombs from each side of the plate in a season. So this dude has to manage 2 swings, a pitching staff, and years of Mariners futility. If not for Shohei Ohtani, the dumper would be the biggest freak ever. The MVP still belongs to Judge for now, but don't be surprised if the dumper rips it out his hands. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Buy or sell, coming up about 20 minutes or so from now. Appreciate you joining us. Chris Schubert here with you on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. You want to join us today on the show? 480-864-1060 is the phone number to hop into the program. It was cut down day in the NFL by 1 p.m., so just as we got off the air yesterday, teams needed to have their final versions of their 53 rosters submitted. They had to make all of their roster moves. And I find it very funny, Evan, I don't know if you enjoy this just as much as I do, is that there's this mad scramble to get these roster moves in before the deadline. And yet today, a bunch of teams are still making moves and adding players to their 53 and signing guys back to their practice squad. There's still a flurry, a frenzy of activity. And so players that got cut yesterday, less than 24 hours later, are yet back with their organizations, albeit on the practice squad. So maybe less money hitting the bank account, but not needing to move cross country.
It is always funny to see that, where I'm sure that meeting of getting cut has to be one of the worst of your life.
Oh, it's
right?
like you get fired from a job.
It's like getting fired from a job.
Yeah.
And then 12 hours later, they call back and they're like, hey, would you like to be on the practice squad?
I assume that many of those conversations
are probably happening in that meeting.
Are more transparent to the point where, like, hey, we need to do this procedurally. If nobody claims you, if nobody, signs you, we would love to have you back. We want to bring you back on the practice squad. This is what we'll offer you to be on the practice squad. And so it probably diminishes how painful maybe getting cut is, because in many cases, you have guys who play really great all summer long. They great in camp. They look great in preseason. They check every box. Just from a roster perspective, there's just no room. Good player, but I've got a loaded corner room. You're now the seventh corner, where on another team, you're probably CB3 or CB4. I just have a room that means I got to cut you.
And that's always the interesting part of the undrafted free agent game, right? A lot of those guys, based on position, are going to pick the team that they think have a shallow group.
Where they can make the team.
Where they can make the team, right? So I think it's always interesting to see how that shakes out. And then I think always some cool stories out of cut day, just to see some of the UDFAs that make a team, or some of those guys that have kind of overcome odds to get onto a roster. Those stories are always cool. So a lot of emotions yesterday, but the 1 o'clock deadline and the 3 hours preceding that deadline are actually pretty funny.
One of the big cuts that the Cardinals made yesterday that had everybody's eyebrows raised, because they only carried 5 wide receivers. Their official 53, I'm staring at it right now, they've only got 5 wide receivers. Simi Fehoko was cut yesterday. And everybody was like, are they really going to carry 5 wide receivers? We touched on this yesterday. Well, they re-signed him to the practice squad today. So he is back with the team. And when you're on the practice squad, you can get elevated at any time. And so what it feels like the Cardinals tried to accomplish here was they wanted to see who is available. And, oh, by the way, it's a top 5 Wednesday. We have a top 5 list coming up in hour number 2 of the program. We're going to do the thing. Top 5 wide receiver options for the Arizona Cardinals now that cuts have been made. They could just sign him back to the roster and cut somebody else to make room for him and add that 6th receiver, or maybe they're keeping their options open to see if somebody better becomes available. We've got some names on our list that I think would be better, and they're going to see where things stand, but they know that on their practice squad, they have an in-house option that they can turn to and elevate and promote and have that person on the roster.
I thought it was interesting to see them keep 4 backs, 5 receivers.
Yeah,
and they ended up cutting DJ Dallas, which a lot of people got caught off guard by.
I will tell you, when we were doing our special teams breakdown for the NFC West,
we talked about DJ Dallas.
We spoke very highly of DJ Dallas and expected him to be a part of that group. Right now, it looks like Greg Dortch is going to be the primary return guy. Maybe Xavier Weaver gets some chances as well. They have Bam Knight. They have Amari DiMercato. All those guys could draw in. But you mentioned, the 4 running backs, Connor Benson, DiMercato, and Bam Knight are the 4 backs that made the team. The 5 wide receivers, as we mentioned. And look, I'm looking at the roster right now, the depth chart right here. I have our lads open and I'm looking at it. And to me, the thing that excites me and the thing that worries me, it would be the same stuff I would have answered to that question 3 or 4 weeks ago. I now just can see it on paper, right? The thing that worries me is that wide receiver room. Even more so that as of this moment, as we're talking right now, they're only carrying 5 receivers. That does worry me. I expect them to get a 6th on the roster at some point, but until they do, I've got a group that's only got 5 as it is, and I've got a group that after Marvin Harrison Jr., it's a lot of question marks. So that still is the thing that worries me. The thing that excites me, even in the wake of the Walter Nolen news yesterday, that he's going to stay on PUP, he's going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season at least, and we'll touch on that in hour number 2 of the show today. You just look at this defense, and you just feel so much better about this group compared to last year, especially the guys up front of the defensive line. It just feels different. It looks different when you see it on the piece of paper.
I mean, just from a edge perspective alone, right? Baron Browning, Josh Sweat, Xavier Collins, Jordan Birch, Xavier Thomas. Already, I just feel like that room just gets elevated just by reading Josh Sweat's name, right? Like, you just feel so much better about that room. And that's not even talking about the interior, where I just think that they went and got so much better.
I mean, last year, Dante Stills, Justin Jones, LJ Collier all participated for the Cardinals in some capacity last year. Believe got snaps. All of those guys did. They're now all backups.
And I expect all of them to get snaps with Calais Campbell's age and everything. They are backups, and they are at first. I'm looking at Dante Stills here. I believe he's the 4th interior defensive lineman on this depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
That's also without Walter Nolen, who's going to come back at week 5. So
put a pin in that. I think it's going to be a little later
come back
than that.
at week 5.
Yeah, it's going to be a little later than that, and I'll explain why I think that when we get to it in hour number 2. But yes, you now have somebody sitting on the sidelines that at some point we hope will be put back into this lineup, and it just makes it deeper, makes it a better, deeper group. Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, Darius Robinson listed as the 3 starters. We mentioned who the backups were, and that doesn't include Walter Nolen. It also doesn't include B.J. Ojolari, who's still coming back from his injury. It doesn't include Bilal Nichols, right? I mean, you've got those guys still out there on reserves. And so it is a group defensively that just feels a lot better than it did a year ago. If we were just basing this off of vibes, you would feel so much better about what the Cardinals are going to give you defensively. They don't play games on paper. They don't hand you wins off of vibes. They have to go out there and do it as a group. But unlike last year, you feel like you have the dudes to go out there and do it, not just a week here and a week there, but week in and week out. That was the knock last year, right? They showed the flashes, but they were a team that ran out of gas. They were a team that as the season got later, they were just relying too much on a defense that didn't have the guys up front, didn't have the depth pieces. They just didn't have the options. This year, totally different ball game, totally different roster, totally different depth, just entirely different. And it's a group that you do think week in and week out can show up for this squad.
I think you look at this depth chart, and I'm not calling it the best depth chart in football, but knowing what it was last year, knowing where they're at today, it's hard not to look at this thing and smile to yourself and say, this team has a lot more potential than they did 12 months ago.
And you just love looking at the offensive line and saying, wow, there's just a lot of continuity there. It's the left tackle from last year, the left guard, the center, the right tackle from last year. Your right guard is a guy who made a couple of appearances for you and has been with the team since he was drafted in the 3rd round. There's no outside guy that's walking into this building and needs to learn the person to his left or the person to his right. This is the same group from last year, practicing together all season long.
You need continuity if you're going to have a good, strong running game. If you're going to lean on that, which is what we know this team's going to want to do, you have to have that continuity. You can see it there on paper.
We've talked about it before, but from an offensive standpoint, they have some of the most continuity in the league, right? So you have to kind of prove it. If you're Drew Petzing, if you're this offense, Kyler Murray, all of those things, the reason we've put so much pressure on those guys is because of this continuity, because we think this offense is only going to get better just from being a year older and getting a year of experience of playing together. They didn't address a lot of spots in the offseason, but you just feel like they're going to grow into a better offense.
That's certainly the plan.
The belief.
That is the belief that they didn't need to go make any major outside additions because they felt like what limited them last year wasn't a lack of personnel. They didn't feel like we were missing this. It felt like this group just needs to give us a little bit more, and we think that they can do it. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. On the other side, Mat Ishbia last night, he tweeted something. Was he right? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Get ready for a rate with a view. For a limited time, Mountain America Credit Union has auto loans as low as 5.49% APR. Explore serene valleys, roaring waterfalls, and relaxing beaches, all while enjoying a low monthly payment. Apply for your Mountain America auto loan featuring a 5.49 rate. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit. Limited time offer. Offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Offer ends August 31st, 2025.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos. Estas son las mañanas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car. It also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Mazda More to Move You sales event is going on now at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
Or receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Think of how low your payment will be with those savings. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda on approved credit plus $998 fee.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
$6:53 p.m. last night. The owner of the Phoenix Suns, and I know this because he has a verified account on social media, quote tweeted a tweet from the Burn City Sports Twitter account that said the following: ESPN's NBA insiders ranked the Phoenix Suns as one of the teams most likely to tumble in the upcoming 2025-2026 NBA season. What was said about the Suns' future and their lowly expectations entering next year? And then it's a link to a story from Burn City Sports. I've never heard of this place before. I'm assuming it's one of those aggregate sites that saw an ESPN story, wrote up a little blurb about it, and here we are. But Mat Ishbia quote tweeted this Twitter account. And mind you, the last tweet that he had before that was 4 days ago, where he quote tweeted something about the Phoenix Mercury. His last original tweet before then was 4 days ago. So he's been off social media for a little bit. Then he quote tweeted an athletic story about the Phoenix Mercury and about building basketball in Phoenix. And then he quote tweeted this story and said the following, quote, "I'm not worried about what the so-called experts think. They had us as a title contender the past 2 years and were wrong then. We're focused on making our fans proud by playing great as a team and building a brand of basketball that's tough and gritty," end quote. Or, if there was one word to describe the type of basketball that the Phoenix Suns are trying to play, the alignment. Very aligned version of basketball. Is there a drop on this program that we get more usage out of than that one?
No.
This one is rising up the ranks.
I'm a huge nerd.
We're in our phase of using a lot of numbers.
I think there's that one and the Law and Order.
Oh, well, yeah. There's a lot of Jordan Lawler talk. This one,
who cares?
But number one with a bullet,
the alignment,
is the alignment. We use that one a lot here on the show.
But I will tell you, they're going to be aligned. They're going to be aligned.
And so Ishbia quote tweets this story and says, "I'm not worried about what the so-called experts think. They had us as a title contender the past 2 years and we're wrong then." Then goes on talking about tough and gritty. I gave you the quote. And overall, he's not wrong. Overall, his point of, I'm not going to read too much into what people say about us, because for the last 2 years, they were talking about us as a team that was going to win a championship, and they didn't, and we didn't. I'm focusing on what we can control, and that is putting the right type of basketball team together. I agree with what Mat Ishbia is saying. Problem is, he's the guy that put together the team the last 2 seasons where they were considered title contenders. He was the guy, and it didn't take me long to scroll through the replies to Mat Ishbia's tweet to find it, because I knew somebody was going to quote it. But somebody quoted when he was at the podium at the end of the season, ask the other 29 GMs, 26 of them would trade their whole team for our whole team, our draft picks, and everything as is. He's the wrong messenger to send that message. Honestly,
I don't disagree that he is the wrong messenger to send that message, but I don't hate that he understood where the roster, like, he doesn't seem blind to it anymore.
No, but again, you can tweet, not worried about what the experts think, focusing on building a team that our fans, if he just removes the sentence, they had us as a title contender the past 2 years and we're wrong then. If he removes that sentence, everything about this tweet is fine. That sentence kind of makes the message lose a lot of its meaning because of who it's coming from. It is coming from the guy who also thought that they had a title contender those 2 years. or else he wouldn't have made the moves that he made. So it's not just the experts, Matt. You also thought the same thing.
But everybody was wrong. Right? Everybody from head to toe was wrong.
Hold on.
Because let's face it, 2 years ago, there wasn't a soul on ESPN saying the Suns are a first-round sweep.
If he would have said, everybody, myself included, we're wrong, different story. He put all of this on these so-called experts, right? But guess what? He also has some blame to share here because he also agreed with that. Because after the first year of these last 2 years, he could have made a change. He could have said, this isn't working. We're trading players. We're rebuilding. And he could have gotten to the place where this team is at now a little bit sooner. But he doubled down because why? He said,
that's what he does.
He said, ask all the other teams, all 29 teams in the NBA, 26 of them would trade spots with us. So it doesn't matter what the so-called experts thought. It's what you thought. And you thought very similarly to the way they did. You were trying to make the case. You were trying to distance yourself and saying, I've learned from my mistakes. I'm changing my ways. We're changing the way that we do things. You may be right, but I have long said this all summer long. Actions are going to speak louder than words. Prove it to me with your actions that you've changed. Prove it to me through the moves that you make, the roster you put together, the way that you actually play when we get to the first regular season game Wednesday, October 22nd. Prove it to me then that you've learned. I don't need a tweet. I don't need you quote tweeting, not even ESPN, but a content aggregator and saying all the experts, so-called experts, taking a nice little cheap shot and saying that they were wrong. Guess what, Matt? So were you. And there's no accountability in this tweet the way you want to hold these so-called experts accountable. And that's my problem with it. Right message. I like a lot of what he's saying in this tweet, but it does feel like pushing the blame off to somebody else when Matt deserves a lot of the blame as well.
I don't know how much of it honestly is pushing the blame. I understand he's saying that the so-called experts called them title contenders and they were wrong then and they'll be wrong now. But I also understand him and his belief. He has sat at the podium and said, hey, it didn't go well.
I know, but
it's not like he's been in denial this whole time. And if he just tweeted that apart from not changing a culture, from denying that it didn't work, then it would be different. But he's taken the podium and he said we're changing things. And whether we agree or disagree with what they've changed, he understands the vision was wrong. And now he has to address it.
He's quote tweeting a random content aggregation site that I've never heard of before. And he's saying, I'm not worried about what the so-called experts think. If he just removes the sentence about had us as a title contender for the past 2 years and we're wrong then, he's making it seem like it was on them for thinking that they were a title contender. Mat Ishbia also thought the same thing. That's the sentence that bothers me. That's the sentence that makes me go, this is the right message, but it's the wrong messenger. If all he said, I'm not worried about what the so-called experts think. I'm focused on making our fans proud by playing great as a team and building a brand of basketball that's tough and gritty. If he says that, no problem. I don't even know if this is a segment on the show, if that's what he says. But it's that sentence in between. They had us. You also had your team as a title contender. You're just choosing to kind of ignore that. Conveniently ignoring that for the sake of this tweet so you can dunk on those experts and say, don't care about them. Don't care what they think. You certainly care about what you think, and you thought the same thing for the last 2 years. Again, actions speak louder than words. Show it to me and so far up until this point, we have been we're very aligned with the Suns. We like a lot of what they're doing. I like a lot of the way Mat Ishbia.
We've agreed with a good chunk of their moves to this point.
This tweet, it kind of bothered me when I read it. I was like, I probably shouldn't have gone there. Could have just left that one in the drafts. You know, you compile a tweet, you put it in the drafts, you never hit send. This one could have probably stayed in the drafts. This one you could have kept to yourself. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, Little buy or sell to close up hour number 1 here of the show. The hottest takes in sports talk radio. Producer Evan has them for us. I'm buying or selling them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead, like your dog who barks before the doorbell rings. Senses trouble before there's trouble, like advanced security that blocks online threats before they happen and knows when the peanut butter's hiding medicine. That's why we keep surprises off your bill. With Price Lock, the price of your internet and mobile plan won't go up for up to 3 years guaranteed. Rates are Berkalot. Cox, a step ahead. Requires at least 500 megabits per second speeds and gig unlimited mobile taxes and fees excluded from Price Lock. Mobile data speeds reduce after 20 gigs.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line and he's going long.
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
Next up, here's Kyle, off-roading behind the wheel of a 4Runner.
Whoa, that 4Runner's got some serious moves on the field.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that. What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Well, I already have to make a change to my top 5 list. One of my receivers signed to a practice squad. That's not the Arizona Cardinals.
Who signed?
Malachi Corley, off to the Browns.
I figured that would happen.
So I had him on my top 5 list of wide receiver options for the Arizona Cardinals after cutdown day. He was number 4 on the list.
You were going heavy on the potential. Corley.
The whole conversation was going to be 3rd round pick. Jets traded up for him. Didn't work out. Change in coaching. They moved on from him. You take a flyer on a guy like that. You hope that in your system he could pan out. And that was going to be the whole spiel.
I had him as an HM.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of HMs. Now he can't even be an HM because he's not available. He's with somebody else. So
he's on a different team.
He's on a different team. So that top 5 list coming in hour number 2 of the program. But right now, it's buy or sell. Hottest takes in sports talk radio. Producer Evan has them for us. I either am buying or selling those takes. What do you got today, my friend?
We got 5 takes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Always.
There is serious concerns about the D-backs rotation in 2026.
Oh, bye. I mean, how can you not be seriously concerned when we've spent the last 2 days breaking down 2 pitchers that, let's face it, we're not overreacting to just one start each from those 2 guys. It is a lengthy body of work from this year of those 2 players in particular struggling. And way more concerned about Brandon Pfaadt than I am Eduardo Rodriguez. I think Erod can get back to being a serviceable number 5 starter. The ceiling for Brandon Pfaadt is so much higher. And part of what the gamble here from the Diamondbacks is that he hits that ceiling. Doesn't he feel very far away from that right now?
He feels very far away.
And that's the concerning part. So, yeah, I would buy. I am very concerned about the state of this rotation going into 2026.
Fun one here. We are considered the experts. Mat Ishbia is referring to.
Do you think Mat Ishbia would consider you and I experts? I don't think so.
So you're selling.
I listen, we are
the alignment.
We're aligned. So I think
we are aligned.
I think he would enjoy having a conversation with us because I think he would very quickly learn that we are more on his side than maybe most are. After being very against him throughout the course of the season. Like, did not like a lot of the decisions that were being made, was very concerned about the future. I've done a complete 180. I'm in. I'm in.
I really think people are way lower on this offseason than you and I have been.
Well, we think the Suns are going to hit their win total, or it's the first thing on the book it board behind us.
It's the first thing. By the way, we are certainly adding Kyler Murray's over to the book it board.
Yes.
We have not added that
It's
yet.
not officially on there, mainly because I can't find the red marker.
We lost the marker.
No, I don't.
Found the board, lost the marker.
I think it's misplaced. I don't think it's lost. I think it's just misplaced. I'll find it.
Same, but different.
We are same, but different, but still same.
We will find it.
The closer we get to the season, the more confident I get in this Cardinals team.
I'll buy this. You're asking me for a vibe check, basically, on the Cardinals going into this year, and I would say vibes are. I wouldn't say immaculate. I think they'd be immaculate if Walter Nolen was participating, and Walter Nolen had a full preseason, and Walter Nolen was going to be a part of things. I think that would take the vibes and make them immaculate. I do think there's a little worry there. But yes, I will buy that the closer we get to the season, the more excited I get. Now that does, expectations minus reality equals disappointment. It does set you up for more disappointment, but that's fine.
I mean, that's the age-old formula.
That
right?
is,
and,
yes.
and you can't, I'll be honest with you, we can't have another disappointing season. I can't do Suns into D-backs, into Cardinals.
Right. So,
I mean, that would be devastating.
And think about this for just a second. You would have the Suns' second half absolute disaster, into the disappointment of the Diamondbacks, into disappointment for the Cardinals, into a Suns season that, while we are excited,
no expectations.
I don't think they're going to participate in the play-in tournament, into a Diamondback season where many think they're going to take a step back. I know we're optimistic, but a lot of question marks. We're stuck on the hamster wheel there a little bit.
Back to our original point, ASU needs to be good.
ASU got to win. Got to win. We need something.
I feel less confident about the Cardinals' return unit after they cut DJ Dallas.
I'm going to sell this take, and I'm going to sell this as a way to vouch for the coaching staff. They know DJ Dallas. They know their roster. They clearly felt like there was room for improvement, room to upgrade. Not with an outside guy, but with somebody that was already on their roster. They're taking a bet. They could have kept DJ Dallas status quo. They could have had the same unit basically that they had last year. They were pretty solid across the board when it comes to returning kicks. They've decided to mix things up a little bit. I'll vouch for him. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'll vouch for it.
The NFL needs to find a way to add a gimmick game similar to MLB's Field of Dreams game or the NHL's Winter Classic.
Do you have something in mind?
I didn't really.
Well,
other than maybe you do the Hall of Fame game for a regular season game.
Wasn't the NFL considering, or they have it, or they've done it, where they've played football NFL games in college stadiums?
I don't know, but that'd be fun.
I thought I remember reading that they were at least considering it, or that they were going to do it.
A game at the big house would be sweet.
Right.
It'd be really cool.
What are you talking about? We've got a game in Brazil first week of the season.
I'm going to say this right now because there was a conversation on Twitter about hosting a Super Bowl in London. Stop with going overseas.
Not a fan of the international games, I see.
It's just like We go over there. The under is always in play. You play at 6 a.m. Yeah.
Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 when we come back. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Turn up the action at Arizona's hottest casinos. The Diamond Rewards Card from Desert Diamond Casino is the only club where you can earn exclusive benefits like free play, dining, and so much more. Just one card unlocks all 5 dazzling locations, including the brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks. One club, 5 destinations. The Diamond Rewards Club at Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Austin Nation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. If you haven't noticed, the summer's here. The triple digits are settling in, and we know the heat isn't the only thing feeling heavy. Got a tight budget? That's why we're offering new AC units starting at just $99 a month. But that's not it. You could also get up to $3,000 in federal tax credits and rebates. It's never been a better time to upgrade. Beat the heat and budget the stress. Make the precision decision today. Call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Decision with Precision Air.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Appreciate you joining us here today on the show. We know you've got choices. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us here today on the Wednesday edition of the program. We've got a top 5 list coming up in 15 minutes from now. The top 5 wide receiver options for the Cardinals. After roster cutdown day, I was making some changes to my list during the break. Moving around some names, figuring out which of my HMs were moving up the list, adding a name to the HM. So we'll get to that here in about 15 minutes or so from now. But yesterday, teams finalized, at least they had to get down to 53 on their roster. And one of the things we learned from the Cardinals when they submitted their 53 is that they were keeping Walter Nolen, their first-round rookie from the 2025 draft, on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, which means that Walter Nolen will be forced to miss the first 4 games of the season. And after that, the Cardinals can open a 21-day practice window. And once they open that 21-day practice window, they then have to activate him to the roster at some point in that window. So the way this normally goes down is a player sits out the number of games that they need to sit out. And then that practice window opens very quickly thereafter. They ramp things up for a couple of weeks, and then they're activated and are back with the team. There are some cases where that practice window never gets opened, and week 5, week 6, week 7 goes by, and that practice window still remains closed. But in the case of Walter Nolen, I am worried that this is going to make his rookie season a bit of a waste. And it's going to set him a little bit behind because he is going to have to miss the first 4 games of the season. He's then going to have his practice window opened at some point, and they're going to have 21 days or 3 weeks to make a decision. Let's say, in the most optimistic interpretation of things, that the moment they are able to activate him, they do, and his 21-day practice window opens. I feel pretty confident, especially because we've been around the block with this, with Darius Robinson a year ago, that he's not going to be ready to play in week 5, that he's going to practice that week. So there's 7 days of his 21-day practice window. And then it's probably going to be another week like that. And it's going to be that 3rd week where they activate him. So now you're talking about, let's look at the calendar, Producer Evan. Let's try to be as accurate as we can here. So I want to see exactly what games where we can circle on the calendar for Walter Nolen to return. So he's going to miss the Saints in week 1. He's going to miss the Panthers in week 2. He's going to miss the 49ers in week 3. He's going to miss the Seahawks in week 4. I don't think he's playing week 5 against Tennessee. I don't think he's playing week 6 against Indy. I think the best case scenario is...
And no offense to either of those teams, but are you rushing him back to play Tennessee or Indy?
Fair point. Week 7 against Green Bay, potentially. But just because you activate him doesn't mean you play him. Just because you activate him doesn't mean he's playing 20, 30, 40 snaps. And then you go into your bye week. So it starts to feel like best case scenario, we're going to get to see full 100% Walter Nolen. Week 10 at Seattle, week 11 against San Francisco.
I was going to say, I think it's out of the bye week, which is week 9.
Week 9 at Dallas. That's November.
I think that's fair.
That's 2 months from now.
That's 2 months from now.
There's
no doubt about it where that is.
2 months and some change from this moment is when Walter Nolen we may be able to say officially on this show, hey, you're getting 100% of him this week. And I think I'm taking a very optimistic approach to this, assuming that they open that practice window right away when they're able to do so. Darius Robinson last year. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, Producer Evan. Maybe you can look this up, or maybe ChatGPT, Producer AI, can help us with this. But Darius Robinson missed a lot of time. And then after he was activated and his 21-day practice window was open, I think the Cardinals took that all the way up to like the final couple of days before they activated him. They used every single day of that practice window before activating Darius Robinson last season.
Give me 2 seconds, I'll tell you.
And the reason why I want to use that as the example is because we just lived it last year. And that's the perfect guide because it's a very similar injury for Walter Nolen this season. Best case scenario, he plays week 5. He's missing the first 4 games, and then boom, he's just right in there week 5. We all know that's not going to happen. We all know he's going to need practice time because just like Darius Robinson, he also missed all of preseason. He also missed all of training camp. He hasn't had a training camp. So that 21-day practice window feels like it's going to be his training camp.
Okay. So on October 9th of last year, was designated for return from the injured reserve.
So that was opening the practice window.
That was opening the practice window. They took that 19 days till October 28th when he was officially activated to the active roster. And then December 1st, he made his NFL debut.
Okay, so hold on a second.
So he didn't make his NFL debut till a whole 6 weeks later. No, sorry, 5 weeks later.
So I'm just going to pull up the Cardinals schedule from last year to do this the right way.
Yeah.
October 9th is when he was designated for
from
return.
The injured reserve, you get the 21-day practice window opens.
October 9th. was 3 days after week 5 of the season last year. He then, with that window open, missed week 6, week 7, and week 8, correct?
Correct.
He then was active, didn't do anything week 9, didn't do anything week 10, didn't do anything week 11. That was the bye week. Played, what did you say, December 8th?
December 1st was his first game against the Vikings.
He played week 13 against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So when's Walter Nolen getting into the lineup? And I know different players, different injuries, different recovery times. I get it. But if we're being truly optimistic, I don't think we see Walter Nolen until after the bye week. Best case scenario, it's week 9 at Dallas on Monday. If we used the time frame for Darius Robinson, that's week 13, week 14. At Tampa, home against the Rams. This is why I'm wondering aloud if this rookie season for Walter Nolen is going to go down a very similar path for Darius Robinson. Whereas, if you remember, at the end of the season, or towards the end of the season, Jonathan Gannon was asked about Darius Robinson entering year 2, right? Going into next season and what he can learn from this year. Or maybe it was during the offseason. But I can remember the quote from Gannon calling this year for Darius Robinson. It's not really year 2. It's year 1.5. Because he really only had a half year in his rookie season. And I am very worried that we are about to follow the same script with Walter Nolen. To where it's a waste. Because, Producer Evan, just want to make sure I'm speaking the same language as you here. Week 13 is when Darius Robinson drew into the lineup.
Week 13.
You weren't seeing the best version of Darius Robinson in week 13?
No. I mean, for a player who gets hurt on August 22nd to not get, think about your first game in the NFL and what that experience is like and what that speed's going to look like. And then you're 13 games in. So 2 things happen when you're 13 games in. 1, you don't even get a period to warm up because you only play 17. So then you have 4 more games, and he's getting limited snaps. And then 2, everybody else isn't shaking off the rust of week 1 and you can warm up to the NFL. No, we're in it. And you're going to play the Vikings.
Darius Robinson injury, August 22nd?
August 22nd of 2024.
Walter Nolen, injury mid-July. Does that month...
Does it make you more or less confident, in all honesty? Like, he gets less time in camp.
To me, the injury happening earlier in the offseason, happening in mid-July instead of August, does allow us to maybe back this up a little bit from week 14 if we were copy-pasting Darius Robinson's return last season to where you can start to look at maybe week 10 against Seattle, week 11 against San Francisco, a month earlier than when Darius Robinson came back, right? Darius Robinson, December, I keep forgetting, it's week 13, it was December 1st. So November 30th, Sunday, November 30th is week 13. If we wanted to back it up about a month from there, couple of weeks, if we wanted to give Walter Nolen the benefit of the doubt because his injury happened earlier, you're looking at maybe week 9, certainly not the bye week. So you're looking at week 9, maybe week 10. That's it. You're looking at the first 8 weeks, 7 weeks of the season, probably lost. I'm just guessing, but it's a pretty informed guess based on what we saw Darius Robinson go through last year with a very similar injury.
I was going to say, we feel like we have kind of a blueprint of what this is going to look like, and last year's blueprint took a pretty long time.
And again, I think even the most optimistic interpretation, it's not until week 7. He can't
I don't see a world where it's before the bye.
No, I think he's done for the first half of the year.
I do too.
I think Monday, November 3rd feels like the day that I would
And at
circle.
that point, if you activate him in October, you're going to have him play the Packers before the bye week. That just doesn't feel.
No, I think they're going to activate his window. Here's what I would do if I was a smart coach, right? I would activate his window and time it up to where he can practice week 5, week 6, week 7, and I don't have to make a decision yet. And then I can activate him into the bye week. So he's got 3 weeks of practice. He then got the bye week. So that's an extra week to get prepared. And then I can have him ready to go Monday, November 3rd. And that's assuming that the moment I'm able to activate him or designate him for return, let's make sure we use the right terms here, that he's in a position to do that, right? That's assuming that the moment he's eligible to be designated for return, he's in a position where they want him on the practice field. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
So by math, are you ready? To the day of when they got hurt to when they made their when we believe they make their NFL debuts. For Darius Robinson, it was August 22nd to December 1st. For Walter Nolen, if it is this November 3rd, it would be July 23rd to this November 3rd, which would be one more day that it took Darius Robinson. That's it. One more day. That would put them on the exact same timeline to have him play coming out of the bye against Dallas.
And that would put him in line to play that bye week game, or the game right out of the bye week.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It begins to feel like it's going to be a lost season. Now, he does have more time than Darius Robinson did. He does have more of a runway if he plays week 9, right? There's a big difference between week 9 and, week 13. It's 4 weeks. It's a whole month, right? That is a huge difference. But that's assuming that they follow the exact same trajectory back. Maybe Walter Nolen's able to come back quicker, or it could take him longer. And then he's in a very similar boat to where Darius Robinson was last season. That's the worry. The worry is that this entire year is going to be lost. And just like Darius Robinson is entering year 1.5 this year, according to Jonathan Gannon, Walter Nolen's going to be following a very similar path. Because remember, he didn't have a training camp. He didn't have a preseason.
That's the other thing. You take the entire training camp.
This isn't
from Walter Nolen.
This isn't Trey McBride missing training camp and preseason
you
games.
feel like he's going to step in, be the player. It might take him a little bit to shake off the rust, but he knows what the NFL is. He knows what the speed is. He'll warm up.
This is a rookie who hasn't played a single down of NFL football, didn't even get into a preseason game, is now going to be thrusted right into the middle of what at that point of the year,
what we think is going to be a team racing for a playoff spot and could be the last team in, right? It's not a recipe for success.
So, again, to my original point at the top of the segment, I'm just very worried that we're going to look back and say, for the second straight year, a rookie had a lost season for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, maybe we're not talking about it because the Cardinals are doing well without him, and Darius Robinson's playing well, and the defense is playing great, and the team's winning, and that just falls to the back burner because the team being in the postseason is front and center. But if they do miss the postseason and it takes them a while to come back, we're going to look at this and say, man, for the second straight year, you had a lost year with your rookie. It's a tough blow. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also listen to us on the KDUS AM 1060 app. And if you're listening to us over there or you're streaming us at KDUS1060.com, you can listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks against the Texas Rangers next Tuesday, September 2nd. It is ASU night. Join your fellow Sun Devils at the D-backs game again Tuesday, September 2nd against the Texas Rangers for ASU night. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets. You can also get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. When we come back, a top 5 list here on a Wednesday, the top 5 wide receiver options for the Cardinals after rosters were cut down to 53 yesterday. That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Close out summer with a Saturday night showdown. Phoenix Rising hosts El Paso Locomotive on Friday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. with great soccer and even better value. Score big with the $4 3-for-3 menu featuring a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials during the match. Tickets start at just $15. Log yours in now at phxrisingfc.com. Hot dogs, cold drinks, one fiery rivalry. Don't miss it.
Make memories you'll cherish for years to come. Join Miss Appleberry, JJ, Cody, Nina, and Cece for a lively Melon Patch musical adventure in this exciting interactive live show. Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at the Arizona State Fair. Sing along. Dance along. Play together. Tickets on sale now at azstatefair.com and include Arizona State Fair admission. It's a celebration of connection and childhood wonder. Coco Melon Sing Along Live inside the Coliseum at the Arizona State Fair.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple of years and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are officially engaged. America's biggest power couple made it official yesterday with a social media post that instantly went viral. According to Kelce's father, the announcement may have been a little late, but that hardly matters now. Love wins. And as always, we say on the program, we love love. The question, of course, turns to what it means for the rest of Kelce's career in Kansas City. The future Hall of Famer's 35, coming off his least productive season since 2014. He has 3 Super Bowls, 10 Pro Bowls, and he's one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. Off the field, co-hosted one of the biggest sports podcasts in the country, and now prepping to marry the biggest pop star in the world. So no matter what comes next, whether Kelce decides to chase one more title with Patrick Mahomes or steps away after this year, it's clear he's set up for success long after football, on the field or off. Travis Kelce has already won. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough, they're lightweight, they're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It is Wednesday, which means we've got a top 5 for you. Today it is the top 5 wide receiver options for the Cardinals after roster cut down day. A lot of HMs today on the list. I don't know about you.
I cut my HM. He got picked up today.
You just had one HM?
I just had one HM because a lot of these names, they didn't jump out of the page to me. I was real top heavy with my list.
I mean, these are guys that got cut from other teams. Of course it's not going to be top heavy. I mean, there's a reason why these names are on the list. We're not talking about guys that have Pro Bowls. You have to create a list accordingly.
All right.
I mean, that's fine. It's your list. You do you, but do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start.
Well, should I do my HMs first?
I feel like we typically do them last to see if any of your HMs ended up on my list.
Okay, fair enough. I'll keep my HMs until the end.
I just feel like that's what we typically do.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. That's fine. We're going to follow the rules. So I'm going first?
I can go first if you want.
You can go first.
Fifth name on my list, KJ Osborne.
You know what? I don't need to go. Also number 5 on my list, KJ Osborne.
Guy that just kind of fit right in there at the 5 spot. Listen, he's had NFL success. It was a crowded room for him. And I just really feel like he could come in and with NFL success and NFL experience fit into this offense. He doesn't have to be a 700-yard guy. He can come in and play a nice number 2, number 3 role and be better than the options they have.
Obviously, there's not going to be many receivers that we talk about here that are 1,000-yard receivers for 4 consecutive years. There's a reason why these guys are available, and we're talking about them. But last year, the guy who may be the wide receiver 2 for the Arizona Cardinals was Zay Jones, right? The guy this year that's going to be the wide receiver 2, Zay Jones, last year played in 11 games for the Cardinals, had 11 targets, 8 catches for 84 yards. They need an upgrade. KJ Osborne is an upgrade. While not having a great year last year, splitting time between New England and Washington, the year before that in Minnesota, 540 yards, 3 touchdowns on 75 targets. Again, in a Minnesota offense that had Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. His first 2 years in Minnesota where he played 17 games, 50 receptions, 60 catches, 655 yards, 650 yards. A guy that was productive. I have KJ Osborne at number 5 on my list.
Number 4. Also known as Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. Was he on your list?
He was not on my list. I remember we're in that time period where you never know if there's. I saw his name earlier today. I hate to do this to you.
Did he get picked up
I
today?
hate to do this to you because I thought I saw this. I wasn't sure. I wanted to check it for you. He plans to. He hasn't done it yet.
Okay.
But according to Tom Pelissaro, as of 10:47, so a little bit before we went on the air, veteran wide receiver Robert Woods plans to re-sign with the Steelers practice squad. Other teams.
Well, hey, you know what? Actually, that's okay. Practice squad, we can pick them right off of that.
It is true. Pelissaro does say it with his next sentence. Other teams showed interest in Woods before the cutdown, so it could be a temporary situation. Players on practice squads are free to sign elsewhere at any time. I will allow you to keep Bobby Trees on your list just because of how good of a name he has.
Last year, he only had the 200 yards, didn't get in the end zone. But the 2 years before that, productive. First year in Houston, he had over 400 yards. Year before that in Tennessee, his last year there, 500 yards, found the end zone twice. I'm not saying he's an end-all, be-all guy, but he's had 1,000-yard seasons in the NFL. He's played on multiple different teams. Houston has been a playoff team the last 2 years. You get a guy with playoff experience who's been on good football teams and who was semi-productive before last year.
My number 4, I know is higher on your list. I am hedging against the fact that he has not played football in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I have Hunter Renfrow number 4 on my list.
It's too low.
If this was just based off of the talent of the player, I'd agree with you, put him higher. He's trying to make a comeback. He left football, what was it, after 2021, 2022?
I thought it was 22.
But it's been a little bit. It's been at least 3 years. He tried to make it with the Panthers. He couldn't do that. He's still out there, still trying to make an NFL comeback. You scared me yesterday.
In
the leftovers.
It was bad.
We talked about this afterwards.
It was my immediate reaction to seeing that.
I don't know the leftover stories. And so you started it with sad news out of Carolina. And I thought, like, somebody had passed away or
I saw your face drop and I was like, oh.
I don't know what the stories are. So you said sad news. And so now I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for whatever this is going to be. And so in my head, it wasn't, the next sentence wasn't Hunter Renfrow got cut by the Panthers. That wasn't where my brain went. I didn't connect the dots.
It was sad.
But Hunter Renfrow, of being available, he's on our list here today. He's number 4 for me.
Number 4. I think that's too low, but we'll get it.
But you understand why I have him at number 4. Okay.
He hasn't played in a while.
Right.
My number 3, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Is he on your list?
He is on my list. He's a little higher on my list.
A little higher?
He is a little higher on my list.
He was actually pretty productive last year when he got to New Orleans.
And that's why he's a little higher on my list.
Played 8 games, 385 yards. He got to the end zone 4 times. Last year, at 411 yards 2 years ago in Kansas City was bad, but he's been productive. He's been on good football teams. And the craziest part, he's actually not that old. He's 30 years old.
My number 3, a player that's probably not going to be available for long. He was released today. I think the 49ers are going to scoop this guy up. Kendrick Bourne for me, number 3. Just a savvy veteran who's been there, has had multiple stops in his career, isn't going to command a ton of targets. The guy you're trying to bring in, you need as a complementary piece to Marvin Harrison Jr. You don't need them coming in expecting a certain number of targets. And that's why I'm a little worried about the guy that I put number 1 on my list. Like, I'm a little worried about it because from a pure talent perspective, he should be number 1. But I worry about what he wants in his next stop. Kendrick Bourne's not going to be that guy. He's going to come in. He's going to know his role. He's going to know what this offense is going to want of him, and he's going to be there to be a complementary piece. I think he's going to end up in San Francisco because they need wide receiver help, and he has some ties there with Shanahan and with the 49ers, so I think he's just going to go back there. Kendrick Bourne for me, number 3.
Number 2 for me is Hunter Renfrow. You talked about it right there when you talked about Kendrick Bourne. You need a guy who's going to be complimentary. I think he is going to play off what Marvin Harrison Jr. can do so well. Hunter Renfrow was extremely productive.
Yeah.
In his run with the Raiders. And
awesome.
I really can't understand why he can't find a team in the NFL. Every video clip, and I know there are social media clips I've seen out of Carolina, is him getting vastly open, looking wide open.
Maybe not the player that he was before he had to step away, but looked like he could still be a productive player on a team.
I don't know what. I think he could line up in the slot right now and be a productive NFL slot receiver. I think he could really play for this team, and I really believe he would play off of Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. really well.
My number 2, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. You talk about a guy who's been a winner, has been at multiple stops, brings that veteran presence. I have MVS at number 2. I assume we have the same number 1.
Deontay Johnson.
I mean, just from a talent perspective, he's number 1, right? You just worry that this is going to be team number 6. And other than Pittsburgh, he's had a tough time sticking somewhere, and his attitude has been a problem. That's the thing that worries me. Is he going to come in here and demand to be the top option and get a bunch of targets every game? And if he doesn't, is he going to throw a fit? That's obviously the concern there. But from a pure talent perspective, it's better than anything that the Cardinals have in that room right now.
I mean, last year alone, he played for 3 teams, Carolina, Baltimore, and Houston. After leaving Carolina, he had 3 catches. He only had 1 catch in Baltimore. But from a talent perspective alone, he's the guy, right? 2 years ago, he was 717, got in the end zone 5 times. The year before that, 882. And then his big year at 1,121. He's just the most productive guy on the market. And you're right. From a talent perspective alone, he's kind of leaps and bounds above everybody else available.
I have 3 HMs. Little Jordan Humphrey.
Love Little Jordan Humphreys.
Mecole Hardman.
I thought about putting Mecole Hardman on my list, honestly. So I guess he would be an HM, but it's just too late for me.
Trey Palmer got cut from Tampa.
Another guy that I thought about and read a little bit about Trey Palmer. I didn't think he was in this class of receivers, but another guy I wouldn't mind giving a workout to. See what you have.
He's an HM. That's why he's an HM. He didn't make the final 5. He was just an HM. So your top 5 wide receiver options now that teams have made their cuts and looking at who is available out there on the open market. If the Cardinals are interested in adding, they have a spot. They only got 5 wide receivers, so you might as well take a shot on one of these guys.
So I want to ask this question because we've gone back and forth on this. Is your dream of adding a wide receiver 2 back up?
It's back on the table, yeah. Put it back on the menu.
I love that.
Yeah, put it back on the menu.
Love to see that.
Because I want it. I won't give up. I'm not going to allow
Even
them.
if it gets to the deadline, I still think that there's still could add a wide receiver 2.
I'm not going to allow their inability to make the move stop me from understanding that they still need to make the move. I allow them to kind of beat me into submission and just move on. No, not going to happen. They need to add a wide receiver 2. So put it back on the menu. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it was his last year. Will it be his again this season? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarter. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new Off the Rails Tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined. And stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, receive a 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV. 0%. Or you can take advantage of $12,500 in current cash incentives on the 2025 Kia EV6 and 2026 EV9.
Take advantage of this offer on our electric vehicles while we have a great selection and before these offers expire later this year.
The name to remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Offer with Kia Motor Finance. Not a qualified. Offer expires September 2nd, 2025.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah? Del, yeah.
What was that? Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah. Price of participation may vary.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
As part of their content series to get all of us ready for the start of the NFL season, ESPN today dropped the story. Dan Graziano made 32 predictions, all starting with "don't be surprised if," and then something about each of the teams in the NFL. And his "don't be surprised if" for the Cardinals got me wondering what this offense is going to look like here in 2025, because I think we all would agree last year. Actually, let's do it this way. Producer Evan, if you had to pick one person on the Cardinals offensively that stood out, that if I asked you, who does this offense run through or go through, you would say the answer to that question is?
Trey McBride.
Okay, good. That's exactly the answer that I was looking for. We would all agree that last year, even though this program has made it very clear, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not have a bad year last year. Didn't have a great year, but didn't have a bad year. The main focal point of the offense, the guy who was the dude, the number one, was Trey McBride. Dan Graziano says, don't be surprised if tight end Trey McBride is the Cardinals' leading receiver again. And if you remember, there was I forget when I said it, but it was earlier in training camp, I want to say, where I made the case that if the Cardinals aren't going to get a wide receiver two, it's fine, because Trey McBride is actually the wide receiver one of this team, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is the wide receiver two with the way that they're going to set up offensively. And Dan's kind of talking about this. Quote, offensive coordinator Drew Petzing's system is built to feature McBride as its top target, and all indications are that the Cardinals see no reason for that to change, end quote. Trey McBride was the centerpiece. Not just because he was the safety blanket for the quarterback, not just because of how good he is as a player, but because of the way the offense was built last year. This offense is built to be a run-first team. What do you do off of run-first stuff? Some play action. Move the quarterback in the pocket. Get him out on some bootlegs. What does that do? Opens up the tight end. You want to go to your guy that's big, that can win those contested catches, that can be physical, and that's what Trey McBride has been. So it was his offense last year, and at least according to one person, one prediction, it's going to be his offense again this year, and it just makes sense. It goes back to our hour one conversation about this roster. What did we say about the offense? We mentioned the continuity of that group. We mentioned there are no major changes. It's all the same guys on the offensive line. It's mostly the same guys in that running back room. It's the same wide receiver group. It's the same quarterback under center. So why would you think that things are going to change? Are they going to try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved? Yes. They would be foolish not to find a way to get the guy that they used the 4th overall pick on more involved in their offense. They're not going to go anywhere with just Trey McBride having a good season. They're going to get Marv more involved. They're going to prioritize getting Marv more involved early in the game to get him going. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a role reversal and that Marv is going to lead this team in targets, in catches, in receiving yards. He may lead them in touchdowns, although I think Trey's going to get a bunch of red zone looks this year. And so with the offense, that is the same. There's no new offensive coordinator walking through that door to tell everybody, listen, we got to do things differently. We drafted this kid number 4 overall. He's got to be the focal point. It's the same coordinator who's going to run the same offense and is going to make small little tweaks. They're still going to be a run-first team. They're still going to have their play action. And they're still going to utilize their big contested catch, physical tight end, Trey McBride, as the safety blanket for their quarterback. That's the way this offense is going to function again. They are going to try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. more in line with the production from a guy who was the number 4 overall pick. But if you think they're going to do that, and the byproduct is going to be Trey McBride is going to be forgotten about, I think you're wrong. This is going to be a dynamic duo. This is going to be a two-headed monster. And I still think for this season, the lead guy in that two-headed monster is not the 4th overall pick from the 2024 NFL draft. It's the day 2 selection at tight end, who is one of the 3 best tight ends in the game right now. It's what they want to do offensively. It's who they were offensively last year. It's if things are going according to plan, the way they want to play this year. So why would they steer away from it? Unless they just want to shut all of us up about our complaints about Marv and his numbers from last year, they're going to stick to their plan. And there is nothing about the way Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing have talked at all this offseason that tells me that they are caving to the noise, that they are caving to all that we talked about last year with Marv having a quote-unquote bad season. They're not going to cave to that pressure. They're going to keep doing what they think is in the best interest of this team, what is in the best interest of their scheme, and what they think is going to give them a better chance to win and to make the postseason and to break through. Run the football, play great defense. Have a quarterback that in some regards game manages a little bit. And that is just going to lend itself to a lot of opportunities to Trey McBride. This is still going to be his offense. Will Marv have his moments? Absolutely. By the end of the season, could that baton potentially get passed? Sure. The start of the year, week 1, I would bet. I don't know if I would put it on the book it board. It's pretty close, though. Trey McBride leads this team in targets. This is still his offense because that is still the main center of this offensive scheme. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also listen to us over on the KDUS AM 1060 app. Stream us, KDUS1060.com. And if you're registered and logged in while you're listening over there, well, you got a chance to win prizes when we give stuff away. And we've got a chance for you to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Texas Rangers Tuesday, September 2nd at Chase Field. Join the fellow Sun Devils at the D-backs game next Tuesday for ASU Night. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets for listening on the app or streaming us on KDUS1060.com. Like I said, just make sure you're registered and logged in while you are listening. You can also get your tickets over at dbacks.com/SGT. One more from us here before we are done on the Wednesday edition of the show. Do it the same way every single day here. All the stories we didn't get to, we wrap them all up. We get to them rapid addition. The leftovers, we'll get to it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
Mr. Nice Guy.
The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Arizona, you work hard all year.
This Labor Day, let Tim Hovig's Santan Ford work for you. Drive a brand new Ford with sign and drive leases from just $319 a month. Zero down. Just sign and go. Prefer to buy? Get 0% financing, zero down, and no payments for 90 days, plus huge markdowns on every Ford in stock. The Labor Day sales event is on now at Tim Hovig's Santan Ford, Santan 202 in Val Vista and Gilbert, or shop online anytime at santanford.com. Restrictions may apply. Not everyone will qualify. See Santan Ford for details.
Okay, quiz fans. What's one word to describe Whataburger's new prickly pear raspberry Whata Fresher? Is the best word refreshing? Or does the real raspberry make you say tangy? Or perhaps the sweet prickly pear fruit is simply delicious? Actually, the only word to describe it is quenchy, tangy, sweet, delicious. And that may sound like 4 words, but we used hyphens. Introducing new Whata Freshers from Whataburger. Whataburger. Available for a limited time.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break. Chris Schubert with you. One more before we are done here today on the show. And we end the program the same way every day. Just take all the stories that we wanted to touch on, we didn't get to, or they're not a 15-minute, 12-minute conversation, and we get to them all here. Producer Evan's the one that puts this all together. And then I just react to whatever stories he puts on the docket. So what do we have today for the leftovers?
So I'll start with some breaking news from Jeff Passan. Tough blow for the Milwaukee Brewers. Closer Trevor McGill is on the injured list with a flexor strain in his right arm.
Brewers comeback win last, or I shouldn't say comeback win, gave up a big lead to the Diamondbacks and then walked it off there in the 9th inning. Man, it would have been nice for the Diamondbacks to have gotten that one after the way that they played to get back into it.
Certainly would have been nice.
Especially when you don't think you're going to win games like that, when for the second straight day, your starter doesn't get you 9 outs. And to still have a chance to even be in that game with the way that they
say the fact that they're even in it.
They're in the game. For 2 straight days, they did not have a starter that got them 9 outs. What was it, 2 1/3 from Erod?
Yep.
It was 2 2/3 last night.
Yep.
Doing some quick math, that's 8 outs last night from Brandon Pfaadt.
7 outs the night before.
15 outs. 5 innings worth of outs from your starters over 2 games. Yet the Diamondbacks almost won last night. Insane. Crazy. Please continue.
Some NFL news across the league. We'll start with the Ravens, who extended Kyle Hamilton to the largest contract for a safety in NFL history.
Certainly deserved. Has been a superstar there in Baltimore. Was a massive prospect coming out of Notre Dame. Can't believe he fell to the Baltimore Ravens.
I could not believe that.
And now he is one of, if not the best safety, certainly getting paid as the best safety in the sport.
He's a stud.
Yeah, star.
He's a complete star.
Absolute superstar.
All right, some news that unfortunately will change our list here.
What?
MVS has signed with the Niners.
Just now?
About 20, 30 minutes ago.
So in the middle of us doing the list, potentially.
Yes. As well as the Saints have claimed one of your HMs, Trey Palmer.
Okay, I'm not. If you claim an HM, I don't have to change the entire list. You take the guy that I had number 2, my entire list is now invalidated. I have to move everybody else up and take one of my HMs and move them on the list.
So far, that is what's happened.
I'm not getting a wide receiver 2, am I?
I don't think
I'm going to be doing this up until the NFL trade deadline.
I think you are.
Like on trade deadline day, I'm still going to be the guy that's like, no, get a wide receiver 2. I'm still going to be doing it, huh?
The Cardinals have signed 13 players to their practice squad.
Any of them a wide receiver 2? Oh, practice squad. No.
Andre Basilea.
Okay. And then
Elliott Brown, Jeremiah Byers, Michael Carter, Jake Curham, Josiah DeGora, Simi Fioco, Anthony Goodlow, Darren Hall, Nick Leverett, Tejuan Palmer, Elijah Simmons.
So those guys all joining the practice squad for the Cardinals.
So Adam Schefter tweeted this. The top reply to this are Cardinals are so bad, man.
What? What does this have to do with?
The top reply to that is Cardinals are winning the NFC West. What does that have to do with the practice squad?
It has absolutely nothing to do with the practice squad.
Next NFL news. The Patriots have claimed Tommy DeVito. I know you were concerned about him getting cut yesterday.
It was.
So I just wanted to give you an update on where Tommy DeVito is. He's headed to New England.
I don't know if me having Tommy DeVito as part of the NFL news dump yesterday means I was worried about him. I did think it was a story, but good to see that he's found some more work very quickly as he'll be joining New England. Now they claimed him off waivers.
They did. Yeah.
So he's not going to the practice squad.
No, like he's on the active roster.
He's on the team.
Yes. I don't know who their backup is after they traded Milton. Patriots.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you need to give me the Patriots depth chart. I don't know that backup quarterback situation off the top of my head like I do some others.
Could it be DeVito?
It very well might be.
It's Josh Dobbs.
Oh, it is Joshua Dobbs. So they're gonna carry 3?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of teams now carry 3.
Well, the Browns were going to try to carry 4 quarterbacks for a little bit there before they got a 5th-round pick for Kenny Pickett.
Do you think, the bigger question is, do you think they shopped Kenny Pickett?
I'm sure they fielded calls on all 3 of those guys.
Yeah. Panthers made a trade today to send Adam Thielen back to the Vikings. Return home for Adam Thielen.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Have you not seen this?
I did not see this, and now I'm a little just worried that it's one of those
search
things.
Adam Thielen.
I am. I'm going to make sure that this came
I
from.
I can't believe you didn't see this.
Okay, this is from the official Minnesota Vikings Twitter account. This is okay. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You have a history here. And it did feel like him getting traded back to Minnesota, since I didn't see it this morning, could have been something where you got. Okay?
I got an official alert from the National Football League.
See, I don't get. I do not get alerts to my phone on any major breaking news.
Why?
Because then there's too many alerts for things that I don't actually care about.
No, 100%.
So
today has been tough.
So Minnesota getting Adam Thielen back, good for Minnesota, good for Adam Thielen. They need somebody to bridge that gap until Jordan Addison comes back from his suspension. And so they bring a guy who's very familiar with the way they want to do things up there in Minnesota.
I don't actually know this. Are you a fantasy football guy?
Yes, I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues.
2 leagues. What picks you got?
They're both dynasty leagues.
Oh, okay,
so
nice.
They
Yep.
work a little differently. As I was mentioning, I think it was yesterday, my one league, we don't redraft. You have a roster.
And you draft rookies.
You keep that roster. You draft rookies. You then just trade players off of your roster. So that rookie draft happens very quickly after the NFL draft concludes. And in my other league, you get a pair of keepers, and then it's reverse standing order. So tonight, the keepers will get submitted. That's the deadline, is tonight at midnight. I will submit those, and then based on that, I'll know when I pick.
Okay. Who are your keepers?
So I am keeping Lamar.
Nice.
And I am keeping Jonathan Taylor.
Nice.
Those are my 2.
Okay.
So if other teams have protected, I think it's up to 3 that we can protect. Maybe it's 2. We did just have a big rules committee convene and change some things. So if it's 2, then I won't pick until the 3rd round. If it is, I won't pick in the 3rd round. I'll pick in the 3rd round either way, but it will just determine on if teams in front of me have 3 keepers, then I'll obviously move up the queue because I'll pick when their selection comes up because they'll
be picking.
They'll use their spot on a keeper, so I'll have the rest of the pool available to me. But I'll know more tonight when I submit my keepers officially.
I have I have 1 keeper. I'm keeping Brian Thomas Jr. in the 8th round. Feels like a steal.
So are you in one of those leagues where
it's just 1 keeper for now? We're changing it to 2.
And the round that the person occupies is a
the
round.
round before I picked him last year.
So they accelerate up. So
Yeah.
that means you took Brian Thomas in the 9th round last year. He moves
now
up to
I get
8.
him in the 8th.
If you were to protect him again this year, he would move up to the 7th. round. Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, Bleacher Report wrote a story. The safest players to draft number 1 overall. Do you want to guess?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase was number 1. Number 2 was a running back.
Derrick Henry.
It is Bijan Robinson.
So the writer of this story has never actually had Bijan Robinson on their fantasy team.
That's what I'm thinking.
Clearly, they just...
Clearly, you've never seen Atlanta Falcons run offense.
You've never seen them in the red zone take Bijan off the field.
And go to Tyler Algier.
Right. No, you just never experienced that the way some
Watching Algier get carries in the red zone is almost, even when you have Bijan, it's almost laughable.
And then what happens is what I would do is I would hedge and then I would bet like Algier's like rushing props and then they would use Bijan more. It was so frustrating. That's going to do it for us. Wednesday edition of the program in the books. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. See you.